All right, Shalom. We want to start off by giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, for teachers word of truth and sincerity, and for ruling well. And salutations to our fellow coming across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. This is the brother Gabar Yahweh.
This is the brother Kahanullah.
Khan, we the brothers from Gmshawaii, and we just want to do a quick impromptu update on World War III, because we're, as you can see, the time is steadily speeding towards, you know, this match between Esau and Esau, man. The Egyptians versus the Egyptians. Okay, the Russians against the American Edomites, man. Okay, and this World War III is going to encompass the whole earth, just like World War I and World War II. But this time, America is not going to sit by idly towards the end of the war and then jump in and claim to be a hero. America is going to be destroyed, okay, head first in this war, man. Okay, and we got right now. This is off the brothers want. You can go to the Wall Street Journal, okay, and you see the title. It says Iran vows to break sanctions as U.S. reimposes ban on oil. Right, because you got Trump. He went the king of Babylon. He went and broke that treaty that he made with the Iranians a couple of years ago during the time of the king of Babylon at that time was Barack Obama, man. You know, and Trump, you know, basically trying to reimpose sanctions on these people about who they can sell their oil to, okay, because that petrodollar is what most people in the world use to, well, what these countries use to buy and trade oil. And now you have these nations, they're dropping the dollar, they're going away from the dollar, and they're using their own money or other countries' currencies to trade for oil, man. And so here it is, America trying to be the bully of the earth and tell people what they can and can't do with their own resources. And that's the so-called white man for you. This is Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write this vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right, this message, this word is plain to the elect, and the elect will run and read it. I mean, will read it and then run with it, man, and then go tell everybody else. We'll go out to the highways and hedges and prophesy this word. Okay, so this is reading on. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And right, though it tarry, the destruction of America. Though it tarry, the downfall of Esau, this World War III. You know, it says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it's going to surely come, and it's not going to tarry, because this is a prophecy of the Lord. See, the prophecy of the Lord has it that America is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. The prophecy of the Lord has it that America is going to be destroyed in this third world war, which is going to be a nuclear war, man. Okay? And it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Right. Esau's soul, Edom. You got Trump talking about, real quick, brother, can you get that, find another scripture for me that says, through his policies, all you got to do is type the word policies in the blue letter. It's in Daniel. Okay? Esau, through his policies, he tells people what they can and can't do. He tried to play the hero of the world, talking about he's going to bring peace and security and safety to the world. Okay? But he's not bringing peace or security. He's bringing insecurity. He's bringing destruction. He's bringing theft and lies, man. Okay? And it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. These different philosophies, okay, his democracy, his libertarianism, okay, his conservatism, his all these different philosophies that he's into, okay. It says, behold, I'm sorry, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he's a proud man. So all of that makes him proud. You know, nobody's ever invaded America. America was never invaded by any outside countries. So he's proud because of that. His military. All right. Go ahead, brother.
You want me to get to 25 through his policies? Or
yeah, no, right there. It's fine.
This is the book of Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. It says, and through his policies also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right, and that craft is deceit. Go ahead.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Yep.
And by peace shall destroy many.
Right. And so through his policies, and which one of his major policies is economics, man. His economic policies. Okay. He's causing craft, deceit to prosper. And then he says, what it says?
Well, and by peace shall destroy many.
And by peace shall destroy many. Look at what he did to Iraq, man. Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11. Look at what he did to Afghanistan. Afghanistan had nothing to do with 9/11, man. And then your top generals are saying, hey, you can't beat the Taliban. And the Russians went in there in the 80s and they lost, man. And what has Esau done when he went into those countries? He just, what little bit of order they did have is no more. It's disorder, it's death, destruction, robbery. You stealing their oil, you stealing their oil reserves, and you trying to sanction these countries to death so that they can't live. So through your policies and through your so-called peace, you're bringing war, man. You're bringing death, man.
Well, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Right. You got Esau with the Esau or Trump, okay, talking about he gonna have a space force. I just read an article last night. General Mattis said, former Marine General Mattis, the head of the Pentagon, he basically said that in order for America to have a foot in this fight in the space war, that they have to have dominance in the space, man. And it just can't be defensive. It has to be an offensive, man. So here it is. Who is he fighting in space, man? Yahweh, man. But it said he's going to stand up and fight against him, but guess what? He's going to be broken into pieces, man. Okay? You're not going to win this fight. You're not going to win World War III. There's not going to be any stories like, you know, they keep showing all these World War II documentaries and all these claims about how the so-called Jew was killed by the millions, which is a lie. Okay? And at the end of this Third World War, you're not going to have that, man. The story going to be told the truth, man. You Edomites, chiefly here in America, man, you're ruling the earth, starting by your banking elite, and you destroyed it. And through the judgment of the Lord, he destroyed Babylon the Great by nuclear missiles, man. Okay? And it's going to be in color, because you got like something, World War II in color. It's going to be, World War III is going to be in color, man.
HD.
Yeah, HD, man. Okay, and it says, yea, also because you done with that? Kind. Back in Habakkuk 2, it says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth up unto him all people. That's right, he can't keep at home. And that's why we bringing out this article in the Wall Street Journal. Okay? Here it is. America is so many thousands of miles away from Iran, but it's telling Iran that it's going to impose sanctions that it can't, that it's going to basically ban its oil, man. And why? To hurt their pockets, man. And Iran has never done anything to America, but they say America, they say that Iran is basically wholesaling terrorists.
Yeah, threat to the world, basically.
Yeah, well, which Iran is the new boogeyman. But whatever happened to Al Qaeda? Whatever happened to Daesh? Whatever happened to the so-called Islamic State? Where the fuck are they at, man? I thought they was the ones going around bombing and blowing people to fucking smithereens, man. But really, the real terrorist is the so-called white man. Okay? And it said he neither keep it at home. He's in everybody's business. Even on a low level, you Edomites, you're always in somebody's business, man. You harassing Jake when they're just minding their business. Other people minding their business. You jumping into their conversation and all in their face, trying to tell them what they can do, man. Because you think you're God, man. When you're not, man. You're just a man. So it says, Iran vows to break sanctions as U.S. reimposes ban on oil. China, India, Italy, Greece, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Turkey are exempted to allow continued temporary imports. Who, first and foremost, who is America to tell who they can and can't import, man? And a lot of these nations are allies to America. So when their temporary imports is up, what you gonna tell them? Hey, you gotta stop right now. Fuck out of here, man. Hey, them nations gonna turn on you, man. Hey, that's why they said the tin horn shall hate the whore, man. Here it is, you going around the earth bullying people, telling them what they can and can't do, because you got nuclear missiles, because you got a so-called superior military force, which you really don't. You just got technology, but that shit's gonna fail too. So you go around telling people what they can and can't do. You trying to hurt their pockets. Why? Because you want what they have. You want their resources. You set up that Shah in the 70s, and then he fell, and then y'all set up Ayatollah Khomeini, the elite set that nigga up, because you know as pressure from below, pressure from above, man. Hegelian dialectics, man. So basically, you set up the winner and a loser, and then you have people thinking that, oh, they're fighting against each other. But now you want to go into this nation and you want to take what they have. Okay, but Iran said what? They're gonna break them sanctions, man. Nobody's gonna listen to you, man. You got anything, brother?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 5. It says, his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Yep.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Yep. You can break it down.
So yeah, the so-called Edomites, these top elite bankers, or the ways of the Heavenly Father far from his sight, man. So that's why he's always doing this unjust, unrighteous sanctions, and he puts himself above any other race, man. Putting all these sanctions and basically bringing war into play, because that's all he's doing.
Poverty.
That's
death.
right. To all the, not only out there in the Middle East and Europe, but all the so-called Latin tribes and all the South America, Central America. He destroyed all those countries, man.
Yep.
And you see all these countries, they're rich in minerals and oil, but he sends his economic hitmen and he just destroys and sells the country to the IMF, man, that's owned by them.
Yep. And the IMF is based in America, man. Okay, you based in America, and really it's a bank, a lending bank of the elite bankers, man. Here it is, you go to all these different countries with all these major resources, and you make them third world countries, man. Why you think them Guatemalans and them Zebulonites down there in El Salvador and whatnot, they're coming up to America, man? Guatemala, Panamanians walking to America, man, to seek a better life. Why? Because their country is fucking shit, man. Why? Because you set up these puppet leaders, you sell all the resources to these private companies, these corporations, and the people can't live, people can't earn a fair wage, and now they're fucking starving, man. So through your economic hitman, you go out and you bleed these different nations for their resources, man. And you're trying to do the same thing with Iran. Well, guess what? Iran has a backer, man, which is Russia, man. That's why the America won't go straight into Iran, because they know it's going to pop off this Third World War even quicker, man. And then you got that bastard nation, that bastard state of Israel with Benjamin, not a Jew, talking about how Iran is an enemy and how look, they got a bomb and this is the time they're going to do this and do that. Well, guess what, man? All that's going to culminate into this Third World War. That's why this is an update. It says Iran's leader lashed out at Washington on Monday as the Trump administration raised economic sanctions to their maximum level, saying the latest punitive actions called for countermeasures to pressure the U.S. and Iran and the U.S. in return. The acrimony pointed to a sharp elevation of tension between Washington and Tehran, and as the Trump administration put into effect a ban on oil imported from Iran and listed more than 700 Iranian banks, companies, and individuals under sanctions in the latest phase of a pressure campaign. President Hassan Rouhani of Iran went on national television to denounce the actions and call for an unspecified countermeasures. It says unfair sanctions are against the law, and that's why he said his ways are always grievous, man.
That's right.
And they're not righteous, man. His ways are always grievous, and they're grievous because he wants what somebody else has. He's a covetous man. This dude Esau, you are a covetous man. You just want everything, man. And that's why I said who enlarges his desires as hell and cannot be satisfied. Okay? Ultimately, you want to chip the whole world. Okay? You want to eradicate over 7 billion people off the planet Earth so that you could rule and enslave up to 500 million, man. And it says it said it's not going to work out. I'm sorry. It says unfair sanctions are against the law, UN resolutions, and international accords. Therefore, we will probably break the sanctions, Mr. Rouhani said. It says, it's not going to work out only through words, he added. Actions means putting pressure on a U.S. so it doesn't dare to continue with its plots, man. So here now, these nations, they're becoming strong nations, man. They're like, hey, our thou has become weak as us. That's Isaiah chapter 14. Oh, you got something?
No, I was going to read the Isaiah 14.
Yeah, go ahead. Isaiah 14.
No, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and 10. It says, all they speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Yep. You got it.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Yeah, and that's worm are a symbol of decaying. In America's infrastructure, America's economy, America's moral fiber, it's all decayed. This whole place is decayed. And when you taken down, when you elite bankers are brought to the pits, hey, that's what these other nations gonna say, man. Hey, are you weak as us? You become weak as us? And even now, and in this time, these nations are saying you have become weak as us, man. Can you get Joel chapter 3, verse 14? Okay, these nations, they're not scared of you no more, man. They got nuclear capabilities, man. And what Esau has been trying to do to Iran is to have basically an unfair war. You try to stop them from getting nuclear proliferation so that you could basically beat them and they can't fight back against you because you've never been through a nuclear war before. Okay, you got all these nuclear missiles. Trump done went back on the Russian agreement. Hey, this nigga can't keep an agreement, man. What kind of man is that? What kind of leader is that? You can't even hold to your word, man. Showing you that you're wicked, man. Showing you that you're incapable of ruling righteously, man. Okay, you go back on your word. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 14. It says, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision.
Which is going to be in the Middle East. Go ahead.
For the day of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is near in the valley of decision.
Yep, the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, he's bringing all you world armies to the Middle East, over there in Saudi Arabia. Go, you got it, brother.
Verse 15. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Yep.
The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heaven and the earth shall shake, but Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai will be the hope of his people.
Shalaki, can you go up to 9? See what 9 says. Yeah.
Joel 3 and 9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, or be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right, so all their money that they use for their agriculture, for their infrastructure and all that other stuff that they would use their money for, now they turning that money into, instead of agriculture and ways to make food, they making ways to make weapons and instruments of war, man. And that's what the Iranian president telling you, like, look, man, hey, it's not just going to be something we're saying, it's going to be an action, man. Hey, they're going to gear up to fight, man. Because you're trying to starve these people out because you want their resources, man. Okay? You don't have nothing to do with them people over there in the Middle East, man. You just want to be all in their shit, man. And you already had a plan. General George Clark had came out with it. He had a 5-step plan to take over like 5 or 7 different countries: Libya, Iran, Iraq, Somalia, or the Sudan. Okay? And I think Yemen or Oman. And they're already done. All of them are pretty much done, man. Except for Iran, man. All of them other countries are pretty much fucking in a hole. You set up these bullshit banks, these world banks over there in that country. Okay? So now they gotta come to you for resources. They gotta come to you for loans. For that dollar, that petrodollar. Okay, that was it on that.
Oh, it says, let the weak say, I am strong.
And these nations saying they're strong. Iran said this: it's not going to work out only through words. He added, actions means putting pressure on the U.S. so it doesn't dare continue its plots, man. So that's these countries bucking back at you, Like, what's up, nigga? Well, let's get it on. Okay, it says, as it escalated its sanctions, the U.S. also took a series of steps to ease their impact on countries around the world that have reopened their doors to trade with Iran. Since the 2015 Iran nuclear agreement took effect, President Trump withdrew from the agreement in May. And then again, this dude, he can't keep. Hey, can you he is broken. Oh man, he's broken his covenant with people. It's like the people we be at peace with, something like that. I know it's in Psalms. It's like Psalms 56 or something like that. It says he put his hands to be as such as be at peace with them, against the such as be at peace with them. Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms. Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. It says, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Yeah, so he's broken his covenant. All these nations were at peace with you. They were like, look, we're going to come. I remember in 2015, they made a big deal about the joint agreement with Iran. And, you know, Iran was like, look, we're not going to make no nuclear missiles, but we're going to do this and we're going to do that, you know, and it was just all these countries came together under a peace agreement. But then what you do, man, you in turn, you break that peace agreement. You withdraw from that peace agreement. The same agreement that you were supposed to have with these different nations, you said, no, I'm not going to do it. And you withdrew for no reason at all, man. Some bullshit claim that Iran is still doing missile this. And even if they were, so what? It's their country. You're doing it. Nobody's telling America that you're not supposed to build any more nuclear missiles. Nobody's telling America that you're not allowed to sell your oil to these different nations. What gives you so-called Edomites, not Edomites, you so-called white people, you so-called Americans, what gives you the jurisdiction of the world? Who made you the police of the world, man? And everybody you be at a peace with, and you just turn your back on them, man. You just say, look, I'm not going to deal with these nations. I'm not going to, any agreement I made, I'm going to break it. And that's what you're doing. You got anything else on that?
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Yeah, get that.
Kind of Psalms 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
That's right, man. Oh, we're going to have peace with you. We're going to do this. You know, they were all excited. Peace is going to reign on the earth. But then he turned around and he went down and he's going to go to war with you, man. He bringing more sanctions on you, trying to bleed you out, trying to starve you out. And that's what Esau does through his wealth, man. The sword, man. His wealth is his sword, too. Not only is his military might, his destruction, the guns, the missiles, all of that, he uses his wealth as a sword, man. Hey, the top thing to trade oil with is the petrodollar, the U.S. dollar. Because that's the only thing that's giving the U.S. dollar life, man, is the petrodollar. Is the fact that it's the #1 currency to trade oil in, man. Which they came up with that during the Bretton Woods conference, man. Okay? And it says, it's not going to, it said, as it escalated its sanctions, the U.S. also took a series of steps to ease their impact on countries around the world that have reopened their doors to trade with Iran since 2015. Iran nuclear agreement took effect. President Trump withdrew from the agreement in May, saying it was inadequate and instituted new sanctions to force Iran into a new and more far-reaching deal, which Iran has spurned. Okay, so you basically, you want to try to, you make an agreement, but then you go back on it, then you want to make a new agreement. Nah, fuck that agreement. We got this agreement. Just like you did Gad, man. You pushed Gad, you made these different treaties with Gad, and then you broke all the treaties, and then you forced Gad to walk. Gad is a so-called Native American Indians, as well as Reuben is a Seminole Indians. You made them walk all the way on the Trail of Tears to another side of America, and then when you found oil and other resources on that land, you push them off of that, and then you push them onto a more arid land, which nothing grows there, man. It's just cold, dank, damp, no water, no nothing. And then you say, hey, this is your reservation, man. Okay? You a goddamn devil. You a goddamn demon, man. And that's why the Yahweh Shema Shine is going to take you out of power, man.
That's right.
Okay? Says, the administration temporarily exempted 8 governments from U.S. sanctions against purchases of Iranian oil. China, India, Italy, Greece, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Turkey received waivers. Look at giving waivers out, man. That would allow them to continue temporary imports of Iranian crude without facing penalties. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said, the waiver allows those governments to continue the purchase of Iranian oil for 180 days with the option for an extension if the government demonstrates steps to eventually halt such purchases. Since the Trump administration also issued a shorter waiver to Iraq to allow it to continue to buy electricity from Iran. And why does Iraq have to buy electricity from Iran? Because you fucked up their infrastructure, man. That whole Iraq war, Iraqi freedom, it was all bullshit, man. Hey, them people wasn't in straits, man. Y'all set up Saddam Hussein in the 80s, man. Then you took him down in 2003. And I was there. I seen it. I seen that country go to shit, and how the country was already going to shit. They've been bombing Iraq since '96, man, and they couldn't fix that shit, man. Okay. It says in addition, the U.S. decided to allow for temporary continuation of international non-proliferation efforts at 3 Iranian nuclear sites, Iraq, Bushehr, and Fordow, on a temporary basis to ensure oversight. Safe operations. Who are you to give these nations oversight on their own nations, man? Who the fuck are you? Esau, you don't mind your business, man. Nobody set you, the Lord didn't set you up to be the police of the world, man. You're the wicked, man. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not him, where and who is he, man? It's the so-called white man. And let's go to Ezekiel 38 if you ain't had nothing else, brother.
Well, I was going to read Ecclesiasticus 14:7.
Go ahead and read it, right?
It says, and if he does good, he does it unwillingly.
Oh, read it up. We'll go up a verse or 2.
So, he that is evil to himself, to whom... Ecclesiasticus 14:5. 4. Ecclesiasticus 14:4. It says, he that gathereth by the fault of his own soul, gathereth for others, that shall spend his good righteously. Righteously. Yep.
Because all of that gold and all of them silver, all these resources that you hoarding up, Esau, guess what? You're not going to be able to spend it, man. You're not going to be able to use it. You're not going to be able to give it out. Because when this third world war goes down, you elite bankers, you're going into slavery, and everything that you hoarded up, you're going to have to split back up. And we're going to do it righteously. We're going to give out everything righteously, man. First and foremost, we're not going to be bleeding the earth of oil, man. That's not going to happen. Those days are going to be over after World War III, man. There's not going to be no need for us to take out the earth blood out of the earth, man. Which that oil is really there to keep those tectonic plates oiled and polished, man, so that it can move smoothly, man. Okay, you got some shit called fracking, where they going through and they fucking up the earth even more, man, forcing oil out, man. Hey, this dude's a goddamn devil, man.
For real,
man. Go ahead, brother.
In verse 5, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
And Esau's evil to himself, man. You spraying chemtrails in the air, but you got to breathe the air. You putting poison in the water, but you got to drink the water. You putting GMO foods out to the public, but you got to eat the food. And you elite, you the only ones that don't eat it. But guess what? The low level eater might. Hey, fucking Donald Trump eats McDonald's. You know what I mean? He eats McDonald's with a fork. He eats McDonald's. He eats fucking KFC. All that's GMO products, man. Bill Clinton, he used to eat McDonald's so much that he had to stop because it was killing him, man. So he became a so-called vegetarian. That's what he say, man. So the same man that you put poison out, you gotta eat it. You evil to yourself, man. Read that portion again.
Ecclesiasticus 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
Yeah, to whom will he be good, man? Go ahead.
He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
Yeah, you're not going to take pleasure in your goods, man. Go ahead.
Says there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness.
Yep.
And if he doeth good, he doth it unwillingly.
Yep.
And at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
Right. So that good that he was supposed to be doing with these different nations, hey, man, it turns into wickedness. It came out that, hey, that this was all a setup, man, to try to take their goods, man. That's all it comes out, man, because the thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. But Yahweh Shai came to what? To that we may have all things in abundance. I'm just roughly paraphrasing it, man. John 10:10. You can read it on your own. All you do is steal, and kill, man. It was given to you. You are that red horse, man. You the one that it was given to make war with and take peace of the earth, and that people should kill one another, man. You Edomites, man. You are the fucking worst. So this third world war is fastly looming over. It's speeding up. We're getting to the point where this thing's about to hit ahead, man. And if you Edomites know better, you Edomites in America, you know not to touch those Iranians, man, because them Edomites in Russia, they ain't playing with you motherfuckers, man. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. Soon as the Lord, hey, raise them up. Let's go to Ezekiel 38.
This is the book of Ezekiel 38, verse 1. And the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog.
And that land of Gog and Magog, that's Russia. Okay.
The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal,
yep.
And prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
So you Russians, Putin and them, you think that the Lord has got your back and that you're gonna be the next to rule? Hey, the Lord's against you too, but He's gonna make you the chief adversary of the Edomites here in America. Go ahead.
And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
Right, and those hooks is that power, because after in the early 90s, you had the fall of the Iron Curtain, okay? And the Russians, they was fucked up, man. They ain't had no, they were all in shambles, man. The USSR had collapsed. Now, you got Putin in office. He's been president of Russia several times over, and they're making moves, man. They're becoming economically strong. They're becoming military strong. They got nuclear weapons, so you know what time it is over there. They're ready to go, okay? So the Lord is putting power. Those hooks is the power back in their jaws. Go ahead.
Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Yep, all these different, all their allies. Iran is an ally, Syria is an ally, China is an ally, okay? All these other nations, go ahead, the BRICS nations.
Persia, Ethiopia.
Persia is Iran. Now you can look up, and we're going to show you that Iran was called Persia at once. When I think it happened in the 70s. Salah here, brother. You can speak.
Yeah, and I remember this dude, because I didn't know before I came into the truth, or I didn't know that Persia was Iran. And this dude that moved into our school, he was from Iran. And he always used to say, oh, I'm Persian. And he would mess around like, oh, I was the king of Persia. But I didn't know at the time. But when the apostles brought it out, I was just like, oh, shoot, like that was right. Because, I mean, that was a spirit that, put it in that dude's mouth to say, oh, I'm Persian. Yep. It says in 1935, the Iranian government requested those countries which it had diplomatic relations with to call Persia Iran, which is the name of the country in Persian. The suggestion for the change is said to have come from the Iranian ambassador to Germany, who came under the influence of the Nazis, man. So in 1935, they changed their name from being Persia to Iran. So go ahead back to that, what you read there. It says, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia.
Persia is Iran. The number one ally to Russia is Iran. And then Ethiopia, go ahead.
Libya with them.
Libya was destroyed. Y'all kicked Muammar Gaddafi's ass. You killed him. Took his nation over, and now look at Libya. It's a fucking shithole, man. And you think they're not gonna rally to Russia after what America did to them? And y'all, a lot of you Americans, man, the majority of you've never been out of America, man. To these countries that's hostile to America, man. Being in Iraq, being in Afghanistan, I seen people marching, talking about down with America, down, having those anti-Trump signs, or at the time they had anti-Bush signs, George Bush signs. They were going nuts, man. See, a lot of you Americans, you think people love you, man. You think you're the greatest country in the world. You think you're proud, you're the most proud devils in the world. Even your own kind hates you, man. Those Britons in the UK, they fucking can't stand you Americans, man. They look down on you, man. You go to them South American countries, man, they're chanting down with America, man. You're not so loved, man. You're not so liked, man. Especially after what your sanctions have done to these different nations. They're eating out of landfills. They're fucked up now. Look at Venezuela. Look at Argentina. Look at Brazil. Look at Colombia. Okay? Look at fucking Panama, Guatemala, El Salvador. All of that shit, man. They're fucked up, man. So go ahead, keep reading, brother.
It says, all of them with shields and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah,
Turkey, which is Turkey. Go ahead.
Of the north quarters,
yep,
and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Yep.
Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
So Russia is a guard to all those different nations that it was speaking about, all those allies. Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, okay, all these different nations. It's an ally to them. It's a guard. China, okay, because when Trump got into office, him and his wife and the president of China and his wife, they went to Murcielago over there in Florida, and they supposedly had a kumbaya moment and shit. But now look what's happening, man. You turning your back on them. You stopping them from over there in the Spratly Islands. Okay, the East China Sea. Okay, you got all kinds of shit going on over there, telling them that they can't set up man-made islands over there. Okay, because it's contested between Taiwan, which is a part of China, but they want to be separate, and America is keeping them separate so that they can have an ally, man. Okay, you got it, brother.
Well, verse 8: after many days thou shalt be visited. Or in the later years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword,
which is America,
and is gathered out of many people against the mountain of Israel,
yep,
which have been always waste,
yep,
but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
Yeah, the Israelites are going to dwell safely over there. Go ahead.
Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it shall come also to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought.
Yep.
And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages, I will go to them that are at rest.
And that's America. America is the land of unwalled villages where people are at rest. People are just settled on their leaves. Okay, you just going about with your life like it's all good. Everything, you don't even know that war's being prepared. These people just shopping and dropping, popping ass, getting high, just doing whatever, man. But you don't know that these nations, they're talking about coming up against you, man. Because America is going to be invaded, man, by these different nations, man. All right, it's not going to be a version no more. It's about to get that cherry bust wide open, man. Okay, all kinds of these nations' rods, which are their missiles and their armies, they're going to come into you, man. Read that portion again.
It says, and thou shalt say, I will go to the land of the unwalled villages, I will go to them that are at rest.
Yep, America.
That dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates.
America, man. All these you go to these different nations, man, they're blocked off, man. Okay. In the ancient world, nations had walls around their countries, man, so that nobody could get in, man. America, you don't even have that, man. Anybody can come through your borders are porous, man. Go ahead.
Verse 12. To take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited.
Yep, America.
And upon the people that are gathered out of out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land.
Right, all these different nations, they come to America, the great melting pot, and they've gotten rich. Cattle is a wealth, and all the other goods they got out of this country. Nations come to America to get rich. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 13: Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof,
yep,
shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil?
Yep.
Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey?
Yes, they have.
To carry away silver and gold, and
Yep.
to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil?
And that's what's going to happen in this third world war. Again, America is not going to sit idly by till some major event happens to it. And no, America's going to be thrust head first into this third world war, man. And we're getting there. DJ Trump, President Donald J. Trump, this guy is setting it up through the spirit of Gmshawaii. He put it on the mind of these elites to put Trump in the office. You got you niggas, you simple ass niggas going out and voting tomorrow, November 6th. I think over 35 million people already cast their ballots to vote, and most of them are Israelites. And your simple asses don't know that the same people you putting in office, whether they look like you, whether they're so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, or Edomites, hey, they're not gonna do shit for you, man. Man, the Democratic Party ain't gonna do shit for you, man. The Republican Party ain't gonna do shit for you, man. All them people are on the same page. They on the same agenda, man. And you're gonna get fucked, man. America is gonna be destroyed, man. What the fuck you voting for, man? Okay? There shouldn't be nobody of Israelite descent, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and people that go back to us. None of you should be voting, man. That's against the law. The Heavenly Father's law, man. You voting for somebody that ain't even your people, man. Okay? And even if you do vote for somebody that's our people, guess what? Their first foremost agenda is the white man's agenda, man. What you think gonna happen when all hell breaks? So you think Seth Gilliam in Florida gonna do something for you niggas when all hell breaks loose? Famine, world, nationwide distress? Hell no. Oh, he's black. He got our back. No, he don't, man. And you got it, brother.
Ultimately, that fucking voting shit is so Easter knows how many of you are fucking sleeping, man.
Yep. Yep. That's all it is, man. Talking about these are the votes that count. So when the big election come in 2020, you think that electoral college is gonna vote for you? They gonna vote for Trump again, man. And y'all gonna be like, how the fuck did he get voted? Because the Lord wants the king of Babylon in office when this place gets destroyed, man.
That's right.
Huh? This shit is going down. And it can happen any moment, any month, any day, any week, any time. Okay? So what the fuck? What you need to be doing is repenting. If you an Israelite, you need to repent because this third world war is going to take place. A major draft is going to happen in America. All you young jakes out there, you want to be thugs and murderers and killers, guess what? Your ass going to be dragged to the war. To the war, nigga. All you niggas hopping up and down for Trump, talking about something, we going to be all right? All right. All right, nigga. I want you to have that same what they say in the world they had that same energy. Had that same energy when the draft come around, nigga. Because you're going to be fighting over there in Saudi Arabia, and you're going to die over there, and you're going to be chipped, so you definitely going to die. And America is not going to be here for you to come back home to. Like Iraq, Afghanistan, like the Vietnam War, World War I, One and Two. Okay, this place is going to be wholly destroyed, man. You got something, brother?
Nah, and for the draft, I was going to read the executive order for those of you that believe. Executive Order 11,000, seizure of all American people for workforces under federal supervision, including the splitting of families if government finds it necessary.
And they're going to find it necessary.
That's right.
They're going to find it highly necessary. Your kids going to be your kids going to be snatched away while they're at school and you at work. And you're going to be thrown into a work concentration camp. Your kids going to be thrown into a sacrificing camp. Okay? Child labor law is going to be out the window.
And if you're a healthy man or woman within the age, if they need you for the war, they're going to take you, man.
Your ass is going, man. You going. It said all the men shall die in the war. And the women gonna be on the ground. The bride gonna be crying because there's nobody there to protect her, man. All the men gonna be down. All the men gonna be gone. All you studs, you dreadlock, black lip studs, a sports bra wearing, basketball short wearing bitches. You're gonna be in the war too. You're gonna be there too, man. Hey, women are getting drafted too, not just the men, women too. And like the brother said, what executive order was that?
11,000.
Executive order 11,000 to do what? Read it again.
It says, seizure of all American people.
So not just your property is going to be seized, but all American people.
For workforces under federal supervision.
For workforces under federal supervision. What is that? Military, work houses. You going to be working on tanks, building tanks and weapons and bullets. All that shit, nigga. And you're not going to be getting no check. Ain't no payment coming to you, man. All you going to get is RFID chip and a meals ready to eat, a MRE, man. Get your ass up.
Right. Including the splitting of families if government finds it necessary.
Read that question again, brother.
It says, including the splitting of families if government finds it necessary.
So including the splitting of families if the government finds it necessary. That's what that whole splitting of the family was going, what they did with Issachar a couple of months ago. That's what that was all about, man. It was a practice run, man. Right. It was a practice run. And you people over here marching and yelling and hooting and hollering. That ain't the reason why they stopped that shit. They still doing it, but they keeping it under wraps, man. Why? Because they're going to do that on a mass scale, man. You're going to have busloads of children getting bused to a concentration camp somewhere and busloads of parents crying, weeping, and gnashing their teeth because they can't see their children. They're going to promise you, hey, take the chip. We'll reunite you with your children. And you niggas going to take the chip, man. The only ones that's not going to take the chip is the elect. We ain't taking it, man. Okay? But, hey, that's what's going to be happening, man. Who's going to be watching these kids while you at war? Nigga? Where you going to spend your check at? Nigga? Ain't going to be no check. You gonna get a check, but you ain't gonna be able to spend it. You gonna be too busy fighting, cause it said for federal something. Federal workforce.
Yeah. It says seizure of all American people for workforces under federal supervision.
That's the military, man. That's what the military is a workforce under federal supervision, man. Hey, so man, we ain't gonna make this too long, but we wanted to bring this out, man. Hey, World War III is fastly looming, brothers. We almost out this bitch, man. We one step closer to getting the fuck out of here, man. Okay? We one step closer to salvation. Okay? And things are happening. The chariots are showing themselves more and more. Okay? Instability, insurrections are happening more and more. Earthquakes in diverse places. Yahushua is about to deliver his elect and destroy 2/3 and destroy this so-called white man's kingdom, man. Okay? Things are happening. We almost the fuck home, man. So you got any closing statements, brother?
No, that's all.
Hey, so with that, man, all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rokar, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching word and truth and sincerity, for ruling well. Salutations to our fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. Shabbat Shalom. Stay strong. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah.